I seen a tweet yesterday because everybody talking about this Kendrick album or whatever the case may be. I cannot remember who the fuck they said album was better than Kendrick shit, but it kind of made me laugh. I was like, okay, from what perspective we looking at it? Like, I mean, with me, the Kendrick that I love is his mixtapes. You know what I mean? His first album, I respect what he did with his second album. Damn was kind of the shit where he was just like, fuck it, I could do what y'all do and do it better. Then he went in like a Nobel Prize or something like that, or some kind of award for that album. Like, he be making history with his shit. And I guess in a sense, when I come to me being a fan of him, I like more when he rap. Like, I understand the introspective side of the culture, government, worldly issues and everything like that. But for me personally, I'm a Lupe fan. So it's like, if I want to hear that, I want to hear it from a deeper perspective. Not to just go and say Kendrick can't rap. That would be stupid as hell. He can rap, but it's like, I like when he rap. It's like, if you was to say that, what's a Kendrick song? Like, Lupe could make a I'm Alright, but Kendrick can't make a Mural. And that sounds crazy, and it sounds, I guess someone say blasphemous, but think about that though. If you look around the internet and search and do your research and watch videos, people will say the better lyricist, which is facts, is Lupe, but Kendrick is a better rapper. And so we know Lupe got a new song, Autobottle, which is crazy, and I don't understand why nobody is really talking about that. Like, most of the channels that I like watch that really be into hip hop, they're not talking about this track. Maybe they late on it or they ain't paying attention, but to me that's crazy. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even know he had dropped the track. I know he did the 100 Chicagoans, and I know he was gearing up to drop Drill Music in Zion, but then I looked on Twitter and see he had a song out, and then motherfucker was like, oh, I ain't feeling it. First listen, I was like, oh, okay. The hook threw me off, but then you do a little research. Carrera Lou is another, one of his personalities or whatever the case may be. So it's like, that song is crazy. But the thing that made me mad about it is the ending, the second half where he got the female, like, you know what I'm saying, doing the hook. And it's like, why he did, that reminded me of The Cool. When I listen to that type of music, it's like, that's what I got. I got Tattoo and You vibes from that song, and I got the Cool vibes from that song. So I'm like, damn, I like the second half better. I wish that was the hook in Lupe. When he getting that type of flow and that type of beat, you already know what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, fuck, why the nigga couldn't just, jump on one of them type? It would have been cool still. I think that would have hit a little bit more. You know what I mean? But the song is dope. But I feel like, don't judge it just by itself, because when Lupe do albums, he do a concept album that's supposedly supposed to be his Illmatic, so that song fits into the narrative of the story he gonna tell, because I think it's like 10 tracks on this upcoming album that dropped June 24th. So I like the song, but I know it's something in there that I'm missing, that it will be a part of the album when the album drops. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But to not sway away from the Kendrick shit, just like he did numbers, and a lot of people looking at this shit like it's, I guess, a failure or some shit because of the numbers or whatever. But I feel like, as always, a Kendrick album, it'll grow on you. But I feel like most people that's notably good at what they do when it comes to reviews, if you had to say a top 5, where would that place, high or low? I feel like the majority would, say low. And not to say that it wasn't songs that I liked off the album, it was, but it's just like, you know what I mean? It's one of the ones where, like I said about the Pimp Butterfly, it's a dope album, but you're not going to always want to hear it. It's going to be a certain occasion where you want to hear that type of music. I mean, you got some joints in there that do bang. N95 is hard. I like how the intro track was that leak that came out about the therapy session and shit. So when I heard that, I was excited. I didn't think of the switch up. All them switches in the first joint, I was just like, it's not bad, but it's like, fuck. Like, why he do that? I was enjoying that pattern from, the original leak. I just wanted that the whole song. You get the production, to what I'm saying, the mood of the record. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm kind of high. Just freestyling and shit. But that's what I wanted, though. And I was like, damn. The record where he going back and forth with the chick, first listen, toxic behavior. I'm like, yo, I can identify with that a little bit. And it's like, you see how women will say the harshest shit to you to hurt your feelings, though? They will go after you, though. Shorty said, I didn't do it, but shoulda did it. That shit hurt. I was like, yo, my God. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the female, whoever she was, she kind of did Kendrick in on the record, in my opinion. Just going off of it basically just for the record, just for what they were saying, going back and forth. You know what I mean? About how certain things about situations or people it ain't talked about. You know what I mean? A lot of shit ain't talked about. We know that I'm not the smartest person when it comes to those type of, you know, discussions, so I'll leave that for those who do it. But just basically from what I heard, in my opinion, yeah, some toxic shit, but it's real at the same time. But it's like, man, being up front, to me, in my opinion, I always enjoy that more. Like, be real. If you don't like something, you know what I mean, say you don't like it, but don't say you like it and then in the end you end up griping about the shit that you liked it in the beginning. I always find that shit weird. It's like, if you looking at the person, you meet them, you know them, you know what I mean, it's like you accept them for who they is. How can that become a problem later unless you making it a problem to have a problem somewhere else? This is how I look at it. I'm sorry, but it's like, love don't work like that, in my opinion. But it's based off material obsessions, it seemed like, these days. So that song was damn, you know what I mean, that song was crazy. I listened to it once, didn't go back to it, you know. But overall, a lot of people saying the second half is better than the first. From what I heard in the first half, I enjoyed it. The second half I really didn't get into, so I ain't gonna cap on that. I didn't. The first half, you know, out of the little, I think it was 9 songs, I like about 4 of them. I ain't gonna lie. Could push to 5, you did. The Father Time record, Jesus, like I was not expecting that Drake line and Kanye line. I was just like, okay, what the fuck? Like, did he just say that? Damn, what the fuck did him and, like, what did Drake do to this nigga? I want to understand. I mean, I didn't watch videos on they little back and forth and shit like that, but it's just like, for him to say it like that, like, damn, I guess I'm not as mature, or I didn't grow or something like that, basically mentally, from what I understand what he's saying. And it's like, Jesus, those niggas really don't like each other. It's confusing to me. You know, it's a sidebar to, you know, the Nostalgia record with Pusha T. He said similar shit when he was on a podcast about he don't really, the Kanye and Drake shit is like, you know what I mean? He don't want to fuck with Drake. He don't want to do a song. He don't want to be in the room. And it's like, yo, if it's just rap shit, you know what I mean, what's the problem? But it seems like it's more personal with those niggas. Because I listened to the album, I'm like, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's going to stand out. Right there, it's going to stand out. That whole bar that he set up with that's going to stand out of the album. The album going to be great, you know, for those who enjoy it. But that bar is like, it seems so weird to just hear it. It's just like, it's not control, but he did what he did and just came out and just said, fuck it. And it's like, all right, shit. But yeah, the Kendrick album is, you know, it's what you make of it, I guess. My album of the year is Ransom, No Rest for the Wicked. That's insane. That whole album is just fucking nuts. His bars, his schemes, his metaphors on that entire album from top to bottom. Ransom is insane. Like, niggas is not paying attention to what he was doing. Did y'all not listen to Director's Cut 1 through 3? Crazy. Like, come on, man. That nigga got, like, the last 5 to 6 projects he dropped fire all the way through. Like, Ransom is crazy. And he's still not done. He probably said he on Twitter he's still gonna drop another one. Man. But that No Rest for the Wicked shit, I was not expecting that. The first record where he got the little intro to Nicki, remember they had the little back and forth talking about, oh, that, you know, Ransom never said he wrote for Nicki. Nicki interpreted that and jumped out the window and some shit, you know what I mean? So that's the second time he kind of did that. He on Hate Crimes, where he like, he kind of he kind of threw a shot at her in a way, you know what I mean? And that shit was funny. You gotta listen to that song Hate Crimes. I think it's in the third verse towards the end. It's like, yo, that shit was crazy. But it was light on this, you know. He just did the little intro and then he just went on and spaz on that fucking record. So subliminally, I ain't saying it's about Nicki, but it's just like, I find that shit ironic to just put that, you know what I mean, as an intro. You know what I mean? Like, that totally threw me for a loop. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, this nigga is crazy. You know what I mean? It's just, Jesus. That record is dope as hell though, man. I think the record is it called, let me go see. I think it's called Contemplate. It's track 5 though. That joint right there, The Resurrection, The Gambler, those records is fire. Like, the whole project is dope, but those are my standouts right there. You know what I mean? Holy shit. The Gambler is just insane. Them bars and metaphors Ransom used on there was just ridiculous. I'm like, holy shit, nigga. Like, yo, Still, Director's Cut 3 is my favorite Ransom project. That's gonna always stay my pin tweet, because I don't think, like, not saying he ain't surpassed it or haven't surpassed it, but at the same time, what I feel, what I got from that project, as far as lyricism, production, metaphors, concepts, that's, out of all his projects, that's my favorite. I can listen to that from beginning to end. That's insane. Director's Cut 3 will always be my favorite Ransom project. Like, no shit, bro. That shit is insane, though. If y'all ain't heard that shit, go check that shit out. That shit is hard as fuck. But yeah, Ransom definitely, delivered. And I ain't really, well, what else really dropped? They threw Jack Harlow under the bus. His 85 South interview was pretty cool. He do know how to be himself, though. I will say Jack Harlow do know how to be himself, but I don't know. I think the last thing I heard from him was What's Poppin'. I ain't really heard his shit like that. I don't know. Ain't really my cup of tea. Durk didn't drop the deluxe, so that's that. But he went live on IG playing cards with his girl. I guess that's cool, whatever, but yeah. Anything else happen? I don't really know. I can't really think as far as music go, but I don't know. Them just a couple albums and songs and shit that I fuck with. I just got high and was bored, so how long I been talking on this motherfucker? Well, I've been talking too fucking much. But I don't know shit. I think the Migos poster broke up. That's promo shit though to me, like, you know what I mean? Free Thugger, as always. Regardless how people feel, like, that nigga's a talent, and talent should never be wasted. That's just my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, music is a little bit interesting, but I ain't really been on this shit to really even know the shit. So I wouldn't know shit. Seriously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I think of some other shit, I'll drop another one. Thanks for listening, man. 1.